So I want to end this lecture with ethical questions on DNA technology. We've kind of touched up on this already. It's hard to discuss DNA technology and not discuss the ethical questions that arise due to these technologies. Just because we could, should we? So as my students, I want you guys, now that you have the background on these two different technologies that we discussed, I want you to have your own opinions on them and what you think about them. So they have few clear answers. There's nothing so black and white. There are definitely strong opinions considering these technologies, both ethical and legal. So genetic profiling, privacy issues. I've sent off my own DNA to go get profiled, which is giving me my ancestry and my health summation with 23andMe. Should other people have access to this information? Should that even be allowed? Should this information even be stored, which I believe it is, at the 23andMe base? Having discrimination in our society for those carrying disease-associated genes. So if we become so apparent with our DNA, we're going to know who carries what genes. What discrimination can arise from this? Is this okay? Is this something that we can control in our society if DNA technology becomes so apparent to where I know your genetic information? Should we even try to eliminate these genetic defects in our children and their descendants and their descendants? This is really interfering with evolution, which I'm going to teach you guys in the next set of lectures. Is this even something that we should attempt? So the reason why I ask if this is something we should attempt, genetic variety, having different genes, is necessary for adaptation to occur. And it's necessary in order for a species to survive in an environment that is most definitely going to change over time. So if we pick the ultimate human, quote unquote, to survive in this environment, well, what is that environment going to look like 100 years from now? Maybe 200 years from now? Maybe that human that we chose doesn't do so great in that type of environment. So genetic variety is something to consider. Genes that are damaging under some conditions may be advantageous under others. I'll teach you guys this when we cover sickle cell, anemia, and malaria during our natural selection discussion. So ultimately, are we willing to risk making genetic changes that could be detrimental to our species in the future? We are changing something that is going to alter our offspring if we are considering changing gametes. So is this a risk that we are willing to take given these new technologies that we have in our arsenal?